channel. This is Alice's Hairverse. I do all the talks around loving and caring for natural hair. Before I continue, please make sure you subscribe to this channel, like and comment please. Do you ever read the list of ingredients before you buy a hair product? Well, you should, because some of these products are actually good for natural hair, while some are really bad and can even be harmful to your overall health. So in this video, I want to talk about some ingredients that are really good and some that are really bad that you really need to avoid when you're buying a hair product, when you're buying a shampoo, when you're buying a leave-in conditioner, when you're buying a conditioner, a butter, like any product that you buy for your hair. Some ingredients are really bad. So let's find out in this video. Let's start from the list of the bad ones. Okay, so the number one bad ingredient on my list is sulfates. Sulfates are very strong detergents, so when you apply this to your hair, they wash away everything that might be on your hair, including, yes, they remove dirt, but also they remove the natural oils that your scalp has produced. They remove also the nutrients that might be on your hair, which will leave the hair very dry, very brittle, and even increase it in frizz. So these are really not good when it comes to natural hair, which is already like almost always dry. So you need to avoid the sulfates. Instead of using a sulfate shampoo, I'll recommend you to use a sulfate-free shampoo. And if you think that your hair is very dry and you really need to use a sulfate shampoo, I would suggest that you actually follow it up with the very serious deep treatment, so that your hair can recover, can gain other nutrients from the deep treatment. Okay, don't leave your hair to dry out or to be so frizzy. The number two bad ingredient is parabens. Now, parabens are used as conservatives. They the industries put parabens into the product so the product can last for longer. Now, the bad thing about the parabens is actually, according to my little research, is that the parabens can mimic the hormone estrogen, which increases the growth of breast cancer. So this is really bad. So if you're buying a hair product, if you're buying a shampoo, make sure there are no parabens. Okay, number three bad ingredient is alcohol. Now, most alcohols are known for their drying effect, but actually not all alcohols are bad. There are good alcohols that can actually help you, that can actually help the hair to retain moisture for a long time, while there are other alcohols that can actually dry off your hair. So you need to know which alcohols are good and which alcohols are bad. And according to my little research again, good alcohols that will make the hair actually help the hair to retain the moisture for a longer period. And these ones you will see them on the ingredient list. They start with the letter C and letter S. While the alcohols that actually dry off your hair, they have prop in their name. For example, isopropyl. These ones are very bad. They make the hair very dry. So when you're buying a shampoo, when you're buying any hair product, make sure you read and actually take note that the rank or the place where they place like an ingredient will determine the amount of it that there is in that product. For example, in a leave-in conditioner, the first ingredient is aqua, it's water. So you know that all the product is based actually on water, and the list goes on, and the ingredient that comes last, it means it has less amount in the product. Okay. Number four bad ingredient is silicones. Now, silicones are actually not too bad for natural hair, especially if you are considering like styling your hair using heat. They can actually help prevent or protect your hair from heat damage. But if you're not thinking of styling your hair using heat, they can actually block, because they cut your hair, so they can block the entrance of water or even the nutrients that you might be trying to put to your hair. So if you are thinking of just leaving your hair natural and not applying any heat, you don't need any help to protect against like heat damage, then I would recommend that you don't use silicones at all, because they will block the entrance of water and the entrance of nutrients into your hair, which will leave your hair to be very malnourished and dry and poor looking. So avoid silicones if you can. The number 5 on my list of bad things is fragrance and also some color, like synthetic colors. So these are actually put into the product to make the product smell very good or even look very nice, so they attract the customers, they look nice, the color is so nice. Like you buy a leave-in conditioner that is orange, like these colors that will attract you, or the smell, you will want to buy a leave-in conditioner and it smells so good, which it's really good, but it has a side effect, because as you're smelling it, those smells are going direct to your brain, increase the chances of cancer and other diseases, according to the little research that I did. So if you can I don't know if you can actually find a product that there is no fragrance, there is no color that they've added, but make sure that at least fragrance is the last thing that they put, because you don't want like to care for your hair but have a lot of side effects from the product that you don't even know. So watch out, check your list of ingredients before you buy your product, and make sure that you are using a safe product. So let's talk about the good ingredients that actually should be in a hair product to make sure that the hair stays strong, your hair stays healthy, and your hair grows actually nicely. The first one will be shea butter. Shea butter actually is a great emollient, as it adds a thick layer of oil, which makes the hair and helps the hair to retain a moisture for a long time. And this actually is great, because the longer your hair stays moisturized, the better it is for the hair, because then the hair will be healthy, the hair will feel so soft, and of course you will feel it also. And actually the shea butter also adds like a shine. There is a shine onto your hair. Like, can you see how my hair is shining? I put shea butter, so give it a try. It's a great ingredient. Number 2 good ingredient is aloe vera. Aloe vera promotes hair growth, stops hair loss, and can actually also be used to treat some scalp problems. I would recommend, like, if you're buying a hair product, or if you're doing like a DIY like treatment for your hair, add aloe vera, because it will help your hair. And if you have any scalp problem, just apply aloe vera to your scalp and it will help. The number 3 on my list is jojoba extract. Being very similar to our natural oils, jojoba extract is a great humectant that can also help to balance the production of oils at the scalp. As a result, you have hair that is not too oily. Like, it prevents your hair from being too oily. Great, right? My number 4 ingredient, on my list that I made, is extra virgin olive oil. Extra virgin olive oil is a great emollient, and it can help you to make the hair feel so soft. Now, it has to be extra virgin, meaning that there were no chemicals involved during its production. It can be used as a pre-poo treatment, like before you wash your hair, you can leave it on the hair for 30 minutes. I personally do it for 30 minutes. I leave extra virgin olive oil on my hair before I wash it. It's as a pre-poo treatment. So extra virgin olive oil is a great one. It's a great oil, and it also helps. It can also be used as a sealant, like to seal in the moisture on your hair. My number 5 is castor oil. Apart from being a great humectant, castor oil also has antifungal properties. When you apply castor oil onto your scalp, it leaves the scalp clean, and the hair follicles are even very clear, open, and ready and prepared for more and better hair growth. So I would recommend that you apply castor oil onto your scalp, and even when you have like a problem like of having like thinning edges, you can apply castor oil onto your temples, and the edges will grow back and they will start to be thick again. Number 6 is honey. Honey is a great moisturizer, is a great antibacterial. So if you want to make a DIY conditioner, if you want to make like a DIY shampoo, you can also add honey. Or if you buy any hair products and you find that there is honey in it, actually do not hesitate. Honey is the great antibacterial and also a humectant. It will make your hair feel soft and also strong. So honey is a great ingredient. Last but not least on my list is avocado oil. Now this is a great one. Actually, I should have said it like way before. It should have been like the first ingredient from the list of the good ones. So avocado oil is actually great because it's so rich in vitamin A, vitamin D, vitamin E, and even it has potassium. Like you can imagine that avocado oil has more potassium than a banana. So it's a great source of nutrients for the hair and for the scalp. And another good thing about avocado oil is that it actually absorbs so easily in the hair and in the scalp. So if you're buying a hair product, you're buying a shampoo, or you're buying a conditioner and there is avocado oil, do not hesitate, just take it. And if you're doing a DIY conditioner and you're adding avocado, it's actually a great idea. Okay, so this is the end of the video. I hope that you liked it. I hope that you've enjoyed this video, and I hope that you learned something today. Please don't leave without subscribing to the channel and send this video to your friends. Okay, thank you. Hope to see you in my next video. Ciao.